Okay, we are live. Pleasant evening, everyone, and trust you're doing well. Good evening to you. Um, yeah, if you are online, please let me know you're online. Let me know where you're joining us from, and please just drop a comment to help me know you are online and where you're watching us from before we go into this section. So it's going to be really, 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 really quick because unfortunately I have other schedules at the top of the hour. So we are just going to try to, get down to it as quickly as possible. So good evening. I can see one person was online. I don't think the person is online anymore. Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. If you are online, let me know you're online and let me know where you're watching us from. Pleasant evening to you. Pleasant evening to you. Let me know you're online and let me know where you're watching us from. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, let me just drop a message in the chat. Just drop a message in the chat. Okay, pleasant evening. I'm using my computer because I would need to share my screen. So I am using my computer for this section this evening. So my camera may not be very clear because my computer camera is not the best anyway. So but we'll try to see how we can make good use of um, this section tonight. So good evening, everyone. Pleasant evening to you. Please let me know where you're watching us from. Let me know if you're online so that we can get into it. I need at least one person online so that we can start up this live section. I need at least one person online. I need at least one person online. Okay, we have one person online. Please, can you drop a chat? Let me know who is online. Please, can you drop a chat? I can see one person is online. Please just drop a comment. Let me know who is online. Yes, yes, yes. You can use your name, you can use your business name, and then we jump right into it. I want to know who is online so that most likely I would use the examples of people that are online so that we can pull through on this section tonight. Hi, okay, Timothy. Okay, Timothy. Timothy, what kind of business are you into? I don't think I have interacted with you and your business before. What kind of business are you into? Thanks for joining us. While you're sharing that with me, let's try and see if we can get other people online. Yes, Timothy, I am looking forward to your chat. What kind of business are you into? What kind of business are you into? Oh, okay, 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 okay. I remember now. I think I have interacted with your business before, multi-purpose store. Okay, there is somebody else online. Please, can you drop a hi? Let me know who is online. When you use the chat, it helped me understand, who I am interacting with. If you don't use the chat, I would not know. If you're online, I would not know that you are online. So if you are online, please just quickly drop a chat, drop a hi, drop a good evening, and let me also know where you're joining us from on this sec or in this section. Okay, I'm just going to jump right straight into it because we have very limited time, for this live section tonight. And like I said earlier on, I have other commitments as well. So I want to jump into it. So I am starting by talking about the pitch deck, right? Which is what I want to start with. I am starting with pitch deck tonight. That's where we are starting from tonight. Okay, so I had, put out these templates and had them provided the promo code for everyone to have access to the template so that you can access it and utilize it to develop your business pitch deck. So there were two different templates that I had put out there. One is a bit more fitted for you if you have a service-based business, and the other is more fitted for you if you have a product-based business. So for the sake of this, because we have more people within this cohort that are into product-based business, I am just going to focus on this one, which has to do with the product-based business. So give me a moment. What's going on? So I'm just going to quickly run through the template, and I'm also going to run through some live questions on grant applications so that would help you to begin to think through and ask yourself, how do I respond to these questions? Because sometimes what also helps you to be able to perform well in a business opportunity or in a business application process is when you have done a lot of practice, right? Welcome, Blessing. Welcome, Kemi. Good to have you, right? So when you practice, it helps you to get ready, because the honest truth is that you don't know the particular opportunity that is going to come your way that you would be keen about or that you would want to apply for, and many of the time these opportunities do not have very long timelines. Some can give you 1 week, some can give you 2-3 weeks. That's the reason why if you are focused on fundraising, you need to be ready at all times. And part of the things that you need to get ready for your fundraising actions are: number one, your basic business details like your CAC, your social media, and you just have a one-pager document where you have these details all there, so that not when you need to quickly apply for something, you have to start looking for it. You can have an organizational profile, a one-pager that speaks to your organization, what your organization is all about, your website, your social media handle, your CAC registration details, your staff strength, and some summary basic details of your business, so that in case you need to quickly do a submission, you can refresh that document to do your submission. Do you see? Then another important document is your pitch deck. Your pitch deck basically speaks to your business. Most of grant opportunities that you will see, you will be required to submit a pitch deck. So it means that if you want to really raise funds for your business, for you to be intentional about fundraising, you need to have your pitch deck ready. But what you then need to do is, depending on the opportunity you are applying for, you can then tweak your pitch deck to suit the particular opportunity you are applying for. So you have a generic pitch deck that speaks to your business, and your pitch deck, you have to update it every 6 months, right? Or maximum every year, because there are details in your pitch deck that you need to update: your customer data, your financial data. You regularly need to update those details as your business grows and progresses, right? So it's important for you to have a pitch deck ready at hand, so that whenever you have an opportunity, all you just need to do is to just pick up that pitch deck that you already have, do a bit of tweak here and there to align it to the particular opportunity that you're applying for, and you are able to submit, just the same way you have your CV, right? And as an entrepreneur, you should also have your CV ready. if you're an entrepreneur that also have, a 9 to 5 like me, I have two type of CVs. I have CV for my career, my professional work. I have a CV for my business work. So if I'm applying for a grant opportunity or I'm applying for a business based opportunity with my business, I use the CV for my business. I do not use the CV for all my professional CV. Do you see? So if you are somebody that you wear two hats at the moment, then you need to have two separate CVs, because the CV that speaks to your business would have to carry the details of your business, would have to carry your business experiences, the growth trajectory of your business, the courses and programs that you have learned, certifications that you have acquired related to your business. And probably maybe what you may be doing in your 9 to 5 may not be very, very related to your business. So you definitely need to have two different CVs, except the two of them are really very aligned. So that's another important document that you need to have. And then you need to be ready with an elevator pitch that you could use to do like a 30 seconds or a 20 seconds pitch that you can submit. Then depending on the request, you can then tweak it here and there. Do you understand? And then your certifications, because some opportunities will request for certificate, will request for valid means of identification, will request for references and all that. So you need to have an idea of who are the people that you could engage with that could help you to write your references. So that's very important that you have those documents ready for any opportunity that you want to apply for. Okay. Now, over the last few weeks in the support group, we have talked about a couple of things. We have talked about, visioning your business, which is very important, because many of the times investors actually invest in the vision. They want to see how far can this go, where will it get to, is this something that is in for the long, or long enough for them to be able to cash out, or long enough for them to be able to tell a story, and be able to achieve their own goals. Because every funding opportunity have a goal, right? Every funder has something that they set at the back of their mind that they would like to achieve from every funding opportunity, right? So your vision needs to be clear, your problem statement needs to be clear, the problem that you are solving, the need that you're meeting. And then when you're looking at the problem that you're solving, you're also looking at how broad that problem is. That now brings you back to your market, and then you're looking at the markets that you are the markets that you are able to reach, right? And then you can talk, when you're looking at your product, you're now looking at what makes your product unique in the market that will make any funder to want to look at your business differently to be able to fund your business. Okay, so I believe that with what we have done in the last few weeks, you have been able to put together your statements, and you have been able to refine your vision, refine your problem statements, do a deeper dive into your business solutions. Probably have done some competitive analysis between your solution and other similar solutions in the market. Some of you have submitted something to me, but I haven't been able to look at it, to be honest. But I'll try to look at it this week and then give you feedback before the end of the week. So now let's move on. Let's move on to talk about the pitch deck. Looking at this template, so first of all, you have your generic template that just speaks to pitch deck and all that. So on this second slide, I have provided a summary of what needs to be in your introduction, if you can see, right? So for your introduction, you need to capture this summary into your introduction, right? An overview of your company or your business mission, your business product and services, the problem statements, that's the problem that you're solving, your logo, your address, your website, the goal. And this is such that it should be compelling enough to attract any funder. One thing is this, right? They say first impression goes a long way to determine whether you are able to grab the attention of your audience. Now, one interesting thing is that when you're pitching your business, right, you will see some people that within the first 10-20 seconds, they just wow the judges like this. And the judges are just like sitting down and listening keenly and following your slides, following your business. But you see some other people, they just come in for the first 10-20 seconds everybody has lost interest. Do you see? So it is really very important that what is at your introduction is compelling enough to capture the attention of your audience and whosoever is reading. Do you understand? And that's the reason why that page needs to capture relevant graphics, needs to capture, it needs to be very graphical with limited text, but be able to speak to your business and what you are driving at. Do you see? So in that, and from that um introduction, you should be able to tell your story. You should be able to summarize your business story, the problem statement, the pain points, and what you're trying to achieve through your business. Do you see? Anyone that looks at that page should be able to, at a glance, understand that, okay, CK Foods is trying to address issues of, let's say, health issues and help people to live more healthy, or I think Mela something multi-purpose store is able to address this problem, or is seeking to address this problem and that problem. So whatever the problem is that you're trying to solve, it should be clear. And whosoever is looking at your introduction should be able to understand, in summary, the problem that you're trying to solve. Do you see? And should be able to understand the pain point. Do you see? Now, in terms of in terms of your problem, and that's the reason why I'd asked us to do that exercise of looking at our problem and determining whether our solution is sufficiently solving the problem. Because sometimes you may say that you want to solve problem A, but the solution that you are actually preferring is actually not very fitted to that problem. Do you see? So your problem, the problem that you are trying to solve through your business, it should be, first of all, it should be evident enough such that people are willing to pay for it. It should be a pain point enough that people are willing to bring out money from their pockets to get that problem solved. Do you understand? So your problem should be clearly, and this should also be clearly articulated. Like, it should be clear. It should be very, very clear, such that if you are able to speak to your problem statement, if you are asked to speak to your problem statement in one sentence, you are able to speak to it in one sentence. If you have an opportunity to speak to it in one word or in 2 words, you are able to speak to the problem that you are solving in 2 words. Do you understand? And when you're speaking to the business problem, you're focusing on the pain points. Do you understand? Because it's not enough to say that there is this problem, but why is it a problem that needs to be solved? Because the honest truth is that not all problem worth solving, or what's the efforts and the energy required to solve it. So while you are speaking to the problem, you're also trying to justify why it is very, very important that that problem is also solved. Do you understand? And then in your problem statement, it should also include a brief description of why your product or service is unique and the value it provides to your customers. Do you understand? So in your pitch deck, you should be able to clearly articulate this. Now, and then that would now lead you to your markets, to the business market. Now, when we're talking about the market, first of all, you want to talk about the target market. Who is your business targeting, first of all? So you are looking at your problem and asking yourself, who are the people that has this problem? And who are the people that are willing to pay to have this problem solved? Because yes, many people may have the problem, but not so many people are in a position or are really willing to get to pay. Some may be willing to pay, but they may not be willing to pay what you are to. They are not willing to pay sufficiently for you to have a business. Because the honest truth is that if you are offering a solution, and for you to create that solution, let's say you are spending 1,000 naira to create 1 unit of a solution, and the people that your business is targeting are only able to afford 500 naira or willing to pay 500 naira to be able to solve that problem, then you are not in business. Because at the end of the day, you are targeting a set of people that, yes, truly they have that problem, but they do not have what it takes to afford the solution to that problem. Do you see? So your target market needs to be clear, and you need to be sure that, and that's the reason why sometimes it's good for you to do some form of market research, especially if you are new in business. Or if you're already in business, you could also use your existing customers to do a sort of survey, just to be sure that the solution that you are offering, it is actually meeting the needs of your customers. Sometimes I always encourage people, and maybe it's an assignment I'll give to you, to talk, or I think I've given it as an assignment, to speak to your existing customers and get to hear their feedback on what you're offering, your product, your service, what you're offering, the price you are offering it, whether it is actually solving their problem and it is actually meeting their needs. Another thing you need to speak to when you're talking about the market is the market trends, right? Because definitely every market has a trend, right? And the trends in the market also affect the customer behavior, right? So there may be changes in the market, there may be emerging technologies, there may be other competitive products that are emerging in the market, right? So you need to also be able to clearly articulate what still makes you stand out, irrespective of the competition in that market. What makes your product unique? What makes your service unique? What would make an investor be able to say that, okay, even if there are 10,000 people that are into this business, if I invest in this one out of the 10,000, this one is still able to remain in the market, be able to have a reasonable share of the market, such that there will be a return on this my investment. Do you see? Now, and another point on the market is also the market advantage. You are talking about what is unique about your solution. And then finally, you need to also speak to the market size and the growth potential. It's not enough for you to say, these are the people I am targeting. This is my target. These are the people that have this problem or that would buy my solution. You need to also consider the size. Sometimes if the size of the market is not big enough, it means that the scalability of your business is limited. And if the scalability of your business is limited, it may scare funders away, because funders want to be able to, invest in businesses that today, if you are doing 1,000, there is possibility of you doing 10,000 tomorrow. Do you understand? Those are the kind of businesses that investors and, funders are looking to invest in, because at the end of the day, whether it's a grant opportunity or it's an investment opportunity, they want success stories. They want to be able to measure your growth trajectory. They want to be able to measure results. They want to be able to measure impact. And the honest truth is that the size of your market is also directly proportional to the size of impact that your business will be making in the marketplace. So when we talk about impact, the impact also reflects the size of the market. Do you understand? So if you have a product that literally almost everybody needs, right? And let's say your product is also targeting the mass market, then it means that your impact is in that area and you have a large number of people, because the mass market have the numbers, right? It means that you'll be impacting so much more people than if you were in a premium market. Because if you are in a premium market, the premium market in Nigeria is also very small. In fact, not just in Nigeria, everywhere, the premium market is the smallest size of the markets, is the smallest market size. And so what will happen is that at the end of the day, the number of people to impact will be significantly limited. So you don't see grantors looking to invest or to fund businesses that are targeting premium markets. Many of the times, they look for businesses that are targeting the mass market, and the mass market, they have the most problems. Do you understand? So whether you are in health, whether you are in education or health tech, whether you are into buying and selling, no matter the business you are into, the mass market have the numbers, the mass market have the most problems, because they are also the people that are on the lower cadre of income. They cannot pay so much and they cannot afford so much. So because they can't pay so much and they can't afford so much, they also have quite some issues. Do you see? And when you also are able to target this market to impact them, then it means that you are targeting a large component of the market to solve a problem for. Do you see? So researching into the size of your market is very, very important, because you also utilize it to convince the funder on the growth trajectory, the possibility of growth in that market. Do you understand? So it's not enough for you to look at your total addressable market or your serviceable available market. Do you understand? You also need to look at the serviceable obtainable markets, those that would be able to buy. They have the issue, they have the problem, they can afford it, and they can be able to purchase your product. Okay, moving on. Next, if you are applying for a grant, you must be clear on the impact. And again, that brings us back to, or link you back to, the market. So you have to be clear on the impact that your business is going to be making in the lives of people. Do you see? And the size of the impact. It will even help a lot if you are able to even bring success stories of previous impacts that your business have made. And that's the reason why gathering success stories in your business is very, very important. And keeping track of your numbers is very, very important. So if, for example, you are into training and then you are able to say that I've been able to help, maybe you've trained 1,000 people, and then you say I've been able to help 1,000 people to gain this skill, and as a result of them gaining this skill, so percentage of them have been able to get better jobs, or they've been able to start up businesses, or been able to improve their income. You touch the heart of investors, and then you are now telling them that with this additional funding that they are giving you, you are able to scale your impact from 1,000 to 2,000. They would be glad to fund you, because they are able to see clearly and able to measure the level of impact. And then this impact is now linked to the sustainable development goals. Then you are touching the heart of your investors. Do you see? And one of the things that you should do is this. If you want to apply for a grant funding opportunity, it's important that you do some level of due diligence from the application process. Some people, they just jump into the application form and start filling without studying all the details on the website, the selection criteria and all those things. When you read those things, what it does for you is that it gives you an idea of what the funder is actually looking for. It gives you a broad idea. If they are focused on agriculture, sometimes you can even research to businesses that they funded in the past, so that it gives you an idea of the kind of things that they want to see, the kind of businesses that they are interested in, the kind of industries that they are very, very open to, and all that. Some grant opportunity will be clear and tell you your business must be in this criteria, in this industry, must have met this criteria and all that. Some will not give you some very specific details. But when you go through the website, you will be able to understand some of those details. Do you understand? So it's not just about jumping into the form and start filling, but take your time to study, to read the details on the website before you get into the application form. Because what it does for you is that it helps you to understand the mind of the funder, so that when you are aligning your pitch deck and you are completing your application, you are able to align the details of your application and your pitch deck, and even when you're pitching, because many of the opportunities, they will tell you to submit maybe a 1 minute video, or a 30 seconds video, or a 2 minutes video talking about your business. When you're talking about your business, you are able to hit the punchline, hit the nail on the head, and be able to, highlight those key points that they are looking for. For example, some years back, I had applied for Access Bank Pitchathon grant opportunity. And when I was reviewing their website and all that, I went to see the kind of people that they have funded before and all that. I knew that they were more particular about numbers. They need a business that has done good numbers. Some grant funding opportunity, like there was one that I had shared recently, they even highlighted it there, that they need a business that has done not less than this number. So it means that if you've done less than that number, you can't apply for that opportunity. So what I did was that I went back to my database to pull the data of every business and individual that I have trained in course of my coaching programs and my trainings and all that. I pulled all the data together, both free and paid. And then I was able to highlight that I've been able to train this number of people, and this and that and that, and this is the impact. And that gave me an edge in my application process, So you need to understand what the funder is looking for, right? Moving on, when you are highlighting the problem, it's also important that you use graphics as much as possible. Don't forget, your pitch deck is more of a graphical document. Don't start writing plenty things. The simpler it is, the easier. The more graphical it is, the easier for anybody to quickly go through it. So we had talked earlier on about your problem statement, and for many of us, I told us that you should refine your problem statement and keep it within one sentence and make it very concise and clear. So it would be good you just put your problem statement in a sentence, and then you speak to the numbers, the percentage of, or the percentage of humans or of people that have this problem, maybe in Nigeria or in Africa, if your business is a Pan-African business, the number of people that are actively looking for solution, because everybody may have the problem, but not everybody is looking for a solution, really. So the number of people that are actively looking for solution, right? And then the existing solutions that do not meet their needs. Do you understand? When you speak to the existing solutions that do not meet the needs of the current market, you are indirectly highlighting the gaps in the current market. And that is where your business now comes in to fill in that gap. And with that, you are able to highlight your competitive advantage and what makes your business to stand out, in the sense that you know that this number of people are out there. And yes, this number of businesses are there, but this number of businesses are not able to sufficiently meet the needs of these people. So my own business is now coming in to fill in the gap. So because of that, I have this size of markets that my business is able to serve. And then you are able to leverage that to convince the funder that yes, you have a market. Because no funder wants to invest in a fantastic product that cannot sell. If your business cannot sell, if you cannot sell the solution that you have, you are not in business. What makes you to be in business is your ability to exchange the value that you have for money. If you have a fantastic product, you have a fantastic solution, you have a fantastic platform, and nobody is willing to pay for it, nobody is willing to exchange it for money, you are not in business at all. And that's the reason why some business people will tell you that your business shouldn't start with a product. Your business should start with a customer. So go and look for a customer first. Go and look for somebody that have this problem first, and then come and create a solution and sell it to that person. Do you understand? That's the reason why sometimes in starting your business, it does not just start by the vision that you have. It can also start by you seeing the people around you that have a need or that have a problem, seeing potential customers. Do you understand? And then you are now able to go back and develop a product or a solution to sell to that market. Do you see? So this is just like another format: outer circle, middle circle, inner circle. for in representing your market. You could use any of the formats. You don't have to use the two, right? You could use either this one or this one. Both you are basically speaking to your market. Then next is your competitive advantage. For every pitch deck, you must put in your competitive advantage. Some people can do it in form of a SWOT analysis, and I think I did this is one version. This is a SWOT analysis. So here I had, in this template, I presented 3 formats. You could use a competitive advantage SWOT analysis to just speak to you, just highlight maybe 5 similar products, and identify key issues, maybe in terms of futures, in terms of value, in terms of pricing, in terms of competence, in terms of market share, in terms of ease of use, right? And then highlight all the different products and indicate where your products stand out. Do you understand? So it could be that your products stand out in terms of futures or functionality, or it stands out in terms of pricing. So you need to be able to highlight where your products stand out, right? Or you can present it in any format, but at the end of the day, you need to be able to identify your unique selling point, the unique advantage of your product. And I would advise you, please don't just sit down and say, okay, I am into yogurt. Okay, Abib yogurt. This one yogurt, that one yogurt, this one yogurt. I think my own stand out in this area. Don't just sit down and make that conclusion. Because if you have to go for a business competition, don't forget, a grant application process has stages, right? Some of them will have the initial application stage, and then they will take you to a second stage where you submit more details about your business, and sometimes some will now go to a third stage where you have to pitch your business. They would ask you questions. So preferably, it's good that you have data to back up your competitive advantage. Let it not just be based on your personal opinion. Because sometimes you may think that your product is fantastic, but by the time you speak to your customers or you go out there to talk to people out there, you realize that there are some gaps that you still need to close in your business. So in terms of your SWOT analysis, you can just go, maybe do sample check among 10 customers or 50 customers, depending on, the size you are able to go, and tell them to rate your product amongst maybe 5 other products. Select 5 other products and tell them, to rate your product amongst those 5 other products, and let them give you their honest feedback. With that, you are able to draw out your SWOT analysis, so that if peradventure you are to stand before a funder, and a funder is telling you, on what basis are you saying this product is this and that and that, you have data to demonstrate it, and you are able to confidently say that my product stand out in area ABC, not based on your personal opinion or based on what you think, but based on the feedback that you have gotten from your customers, right? And then this page is where you speak to the current status of your business, the accomplishments of your business, and then, how you have managed your business resources, and what you would also be able to accomplish if they give you the money. So all this has to do with your financials. You can present your financials in any formats that you like, using just maybe 1 slide, maximum 2 slides. Please do not put your financials in more than 2 slides. And also, sometimes I'm also of the opinion that you just provide generic, simplified data. If you provide too complex data and you have to pitch your business, they would ask you so many questions. Do you see? So it is easier you just present it in a simplified manner. And then finally, your team, you indicate the team members you are working with. You can use any format. You can use format A to show your organogram, or you use format B to just highlight the key team members that you are working with and all that. Then you highlight, very important, your anticipated growth. By the time you are giving the funds, what are you working towards? Because every donor will want to see your vision, will want to understand your vision. Where are you going? So you are able to clearly highlight that, your goal is that in the next 3 years you want to achieve this, you want to do this. In the next 1 year, you want to achieve this level of growth. In the next, you want to achieve that and that level of growth, so that the funder knows clearly that, yes, if I am able to key in my funding or support this, I am able to support this business to achieve this level of growth. And that is it. And then your last page where you put your details, thank you, and all that. These are just guides that I have provided here. 6 simple recommendations. Keep it simple. Make it memorable. Yes, your pitch deck should be memorable, such that, in fact, by the time the funder is leaving, it will just be in their head. Use visuals, keep it short, main point, test it, and reiterate it. Then this is like a cycle, for presentation guide. You could also include a table of contents if you want, and all that. And you can have different icons to just demonstrate what you're doing. Now, if you're using this template, please do not forget to modify the template to fit your business brand, right? Your business color, include your logo and all that, so that it speaks more to your business. If your business color is green, you can change the background to green, instead of having these colors. So that is it. Let me see, are there any questions in the comment section before we quickly go through a sample past question for a grant opportunity? Okay, let me see. Yeah, yes. A survey is important, Blessing. A survey is important. Rhoda says, I discovered that for tech pitch sample impact SWOT analysis ask wasn't included. I want to ask if this is an investor pitch or a grant pitch. Yes, it's still a grant pitch. A grant pitch is very similar to an investor pitch. I think someone has asked me before, what's the difference between grant and investor? It's just the vision, basically. For grant pitch, they are majorly focused on impact. An investor pitch is majorly focused on return on investment. You're trying to convince the funder that if you invest in my business, so you will be able to make more monies. So, for example, if you see an investor pitch, instead of impact, you would rather have traction. Do you understand? You rather have traction, because you are trying to demonstrate to the investor through your numbers that if the investor invests in your business has sufficient traction, or is able to generate sufficient traction to be able to make back the money, so that the investor can have a good ROI, right? SWOT analysis. No, you need SWOT analysis. You need your ask. You definitely need your ask. So yeah, you definitely need it. Maybe it is the format in which it was presented, but I think it's there. Well, it's the format in which it was presented. But impact, no, because instead of impact, you rather have traction. So you can have either of both, right? It's either you are having impact or you're having your traction. But you can also decide to put it in both, because there are some investors that are impact investors. We have some people that we call impact investors. They are investors, or they are looking for ROI, but they also, maybe because of their personal values, right? They are also very, very keen about impact. They want to see how your business is impacting the world positively, impacting life positively, and all that. And that's the reason why, if you want to go and pitch for investors as well, it's also important that you do your due diligence. You check out what the investor is after. You check out the kind of businesses that the investor invests in. You check out, their personal values. And LinkedIn is a very good place to do your due diligence. Social media has made life so easy for us these days. You can leverage it to, do a lot of investment. For me, sometimes when I want to, do such DDA, what I do is I go on social media. Facebook, Instagram will not show my identity if I search your platform or check you out, but LinkedIn will, if I'm not on premium. So sometimes I can decide to just go premium just because I want to do some form of due diligence, because I am scouting or working with a client on a particular opportunity, and I don't want the investor to notice me. Do you understand? And even for some grant opportunities where I serve as judges, the period I was on the TGH pitch competition as a judge, I saw a lot of the candidates searched me out on LinkedIn. They checked my profile and all that. So it's something. LinkedIn is a very good place. Is a very good place to really check people out. Some went to Facebook and all that. It was only those that engaged on my content that I could recognize anyways. And then when I got into the competition and I was seeing their engagement, I was like, oh, this name checked me out on LinkedIn. This name, that kind of a thing. So it's good for you to do your due diligence. Try to engage, try to understand. If you know somebody who has applied for that opportunity before, or who is like maybe somebody like me that have worked with quite a broad number of donors, if I have information on that particular donor, I could tell you this and this and that. Those things give you an edge because you know what the funder is looking for. You have an idea of who the funder is, and you are able to just align yourself. Do you understand? So that's really very important. That's why people that even do speaking, you have speaking engagement. One of the key things you ask when you are invited to speak in a place is to find out who your audience are, what kind of people are they, what's the expectation, what are the objectives, that kind of a thing. So it helps you in your preparation so that you are able to meet the need of your audience, right? Rhoda, did I answer your question? Please let me know. Okay, no other questions, so I'm going to share my screen again and we're just going to run through. A sample. Let's see if I will be sharing the right thing. Okay, so this is a sample grant application form for the KBS Pitch Challenge, right? So generally, the application forms would give you, you first of all start with your general information, your name, phone number, all those your biodata, basic details, business name, and all that, stage of business idea. Very important. Most funders want to know whether you are just starting or you are already in business or you have not even started at all. So the stage of your business. Then moving on to the main questions, you now have brief description of your business. You see the reason why during the reviews, when some people will write episode and I will tell you, simplify it, because every donor, first of all, one thing you should note is that these funders, they have so many applications to review. Do you understand? Sometimes they can have as much as 1,000 application, 500 application. Nobody has time to come and be reading your many episodes. Do you understand? So you need to captivate them with the first sentence. You need to captivate whosoever is reviewing your application. That's why you must be clear. Briefly describe your business, what your business is all about. If you want to describe your business, preferably, when they say brief description of your business like this, don't let it be more than 50 words. Don't let it be more than 50 words. Just briefly. Some applications will give you number of words. They will tell you maximum number of so words. But some do not give you. But you should already have an idea of if this is the kind of question they ask me. For example, brief description. Anything they tell you brief, please don't let it be more than 2 words and more than 3 sentences when they tell you brief. If you can keep it within 25 words in 1-2 sentences, beautiful. Do you understand? But within that sentence, you have been able to capture your problem statement, the problem you're solving. You've been able to capture your solution and briefly articulated how you are solving that problem. Do you understand? And then the next question says, what problem are you solving and why does it matter? Why is it important? Do you understand? That brings us to the point on the pitch deck where we were talking about not everybody, this is the total number of people that have the problem, but the total number of people that are looking for solution. Because The problem may be there, but not everybody is looking for solution. So why it matters will now determine why people are looking for solution and why your solution matters. Do you understand? So you need to be able to articulate the problem that you are solving briefly. So it's not just about saying, oh, it's not just about and when you're articulating your solution, you also need to articulate the impact, how it is impacting lives, how it is impacting, individuals, right? So moving on to the next question, you say, how does your business project solve the problem? So now it has moved from the what the problem is, why the problem matters, to how it solves the solution. This how it solves the solution speaks to your products and your services, what you are offering, how that product, how that service is solving solution, and then it says what makes it unique. So this is basically speaking to your solution. What makes your business solution unique? What differentiates it from other similar products, right? The strengths of your products that would make customers to want to consider your product over other similar products in the market. Do you understand? Then the next one says, who are your target customers? So this now brings us back to your markets. Who are your target customers? How big is the market? So remember the question that I asked you, or the points that I raised around, the size of your market, showing the growth potential of your market. This is where you are going to demonstrate it, who your target customers are, and what is the trajectory. I think I'm going to share these questions with us so that you can practicalize it and try to respond to the question. Then how do you plan to make money or sustain the project? So how do you plan to make money? This now brings to your business model. How do your business make money? What are the ways that your business generates money? Is it through subscription? Is it through sales of your product? Is it through there are some business that it is through direct sales, some business may be through subscription, maybe annual, monthly, and all that. Different ways your business generates money. So you need to be able to summarize how your business makes money. And then if you see, it says describe your revenue model or sustainability plan. And here, when you're reading the questions on top, you're also reading the ones underneath it. So that's the reason why, I told you that many investors, when they want to invest in businesses, they want to be sure that your business is sustainable. So it's not enough for you to say, okay, I'm in business ABC, but you are able to demonstrate that as I'm in this business is sustainable because I will continually make money through these channels. Do you understand? Maybe people will continually pay me for my services. People will continually subscribe to my platform. People will continually register for my programs. Do you understand? You're able to demonstrate how you continually make money. Then the next one, it says, what progress have you made so far? What are your key milestones? That speaks to your business results. What your business and your numbers now come into play here. So you can be able to say that in the last 1 year, or in the last, preferably when you're speaking to when you are responding to questions like this, it is advisable to speak to data for 3 years if your business is more than 3 years. If your business is more than 3 years, it's good for you to speak to data for at least 3 years. But if your business is just starting, maybe 1 year, 2 years, speak to data from inception. So you can say, since from beginning, you have been able to impact so number of people through your business products, right? And you have been able to achieve so and so and so. So you are able to highlight your key results in terms of your numbers in terms of sales, your numbers in terms of impact, your numbers in terms of customer base, right? Your numbers in terms of results. You're able to highlight it here. So this does not mean that you are just writing plenty stories. Your response here needs to be data driven. If your responses are data driven, what happens is that you will capture the attention of whosoever is reviewing your business application because they know that you know what you're doing. You are not just telling stories, and you are not just writing Googled up stuff. And in this day of AI, reviewers are also very, very careful that somebody did not just go and put something on AI and then AI just generated response and they are doing copy and paste. So that's the reason why you need to think it through and you need to review it, right? And then the last question is, how will you use the money? So this is your ask. You are asking for this amount of money. What will you use it to do? This now brings us to the growth trajectory, right? Your milestones, what you intend to achieve out of your business in the next 6 months, in the next 1 year, and all that. That is what you speak to here. Okay, so you can see what this question is. Now, this is for one stage. Some applications may have another stage. This is just the first stage. But if you are able to scale through this stage, by the time you move on to the next stage, it becomes a bit easier and clearer for you. Okay, yes, the video will be on YouTube. I can leave it on YouTube for some days so that people are able to go over it. So that's an example of a grant application question. Let me try to go through a second one before we call it a night. Please, if you have questions, kindly put it in the chat. Kindly put your questions in the chat so that I can respond to you. Okay, so this is another set of questions. As usual, having summary details and all that, type what kind of business you are into, whether you are a distributor, you are a retailer, learning institution, and all that, what kind of business, organizational employees. Yes, this one is trying to find out, the employees that you have in your business, the country where you're applying from, all these basic details. Yeah, so this one starts from brief history of applicants. Kindly provide brief history and background of your business or organization. Provide brief notes on the company setup, dates, brief history of the nature of the current business. So this still brings us back again to brief description about your business. Do you understand? Some may want to see more details, some may want to see less details. So you need to be ready with a brief about your business. At any point, if somebody tell you as a business person that is looking for fund, that tell me briefly about your business, you should be able to, provide brief description about your business, number of years that you have been in business, then historical sales. So you see why I keep saying that there is no way that you are looking for funding for your business that you will not keep data. If you want to secure funding for your business, please and please, very important, I have the data of everyone that I have ever trained in my business from inception to date, whether free training or paid training. I have the data. Do you understand? So you should be able to. I have the data of all my clients that I've worked with, that I've supported to write grant applications, that I have done one-on-one coaching for. I have all my data. So please, if you're going to seek for funding and you want to build anything sustainable, you need your data, because it helps you to also make good, sound decisions so that you are able to review your details and say, oh, am I making progress? Am I not making progress? Is my business improving or not improving? So for example, if you have your historical sales data, let's say 2021, 2022, 2023, then you are able to review and ask yourself, when you attend strategic meeting, if your business have maybe a board of director, these are some of the critical questions that they will ask you. That's the reason why advisory board or board of director is really, really very important for businesses, especially for entrepreneurs. I always recommend this so that you have an accountability structure and you have someone that is able to ask you critical questions about your business. What are you doing? And you have somebody that you are reporting to, or a team that you are reporting to. So if you say 2021, maybe you sold 1,000 units of your product. 2022, you sold 800 units. Why did your sales drop? You understand? So you begin to ask yourself critical questions. What can I do to increase my sales? So that's very important. Available inventory. So you should be able to know the inventory that you have in your business, the equipment and materials you have. Is it just a laptop? Do you have an office space? What items do you have in your office? You should be able to know the inventory, because if, for example, you want to maybe do a merger or acquisition, or you want to put out you want an equity you want to attract an equity investor into your business. One of the things that they are going to do is they are going to value your business, and part of what forms the valuation of your business is your historical data. You understand? So if you do not have this data, you may be undervalued, and at the end of the day you get lesser value for your business. So the next one is just description of details, um, the link of the challenge, opportunity, or problem to the key objectives of the project, innovation and business model. So this is your business model. What is innovative about your business model? This particular fund that you can see is very important, is very concerned about gender and social inclusion. So how is your business enabling gender and social inclusion? Because that's one of their area of impact. This one is also interested in environmental impact. So they've asked questions on how does your business impact the environment? How does your business impact the environment? So for somebody that is into business, like maybe recycling or something that has positive impact on the climate of the environment, the donor will be very, very, this kind of funder would be very, very interested, in that particular opportunity or in that particular business. Other funding source. Some funders, most funders really, they want to know what are other funding sources that you have or that you have had, because it helps to demonstrate your capacity really. So these are some other questions. Detail any risk and propose mitigation. So you need to also be able to know your business risk, right? What are the risks to your kind of business that would not enable you, when you are in your pitch deck, you have been able to also highlight your milestones and your growth trajectory. So you should be able to also highlight the possible risk that would hinder you from attaining those results, right? Demonstrate organization's effectiveness in terms of internal structure. So this now speak to your team. Will your team be able to pull through and all that? Who are the key members and why are they key to the success of your business? Demonstrate inclusion of women in leadership position. What expertise does your team members have, including you? What expertise do you have to be able to successfully run this business? That's the reason why when you start up on business, you may not have any knowledge, you may not have any certification, but as you begin to grow and you want to raise funding for your business, you need to acquire certain level of skills and certifications and trainings, because funders would be interested in that, because it will give them some level of comfort that yes, you have capacity to be able to run this business, right? Past performance. This is also important. Your sales volume to date, lessons learned from experience that will be carried through on this project. If there are expertise gap, how will the gap be bridged? So for example, you identify that you lack certain expertise in your business. How do you plan to close those gaps? The degree to which your budget is clear and reasonable, and all that. So these are just summary questions just to give you an idea, but I think the first one is more detailed. This is monitoring and evaluation, budget set, past performance reference. You need to provide reference on this opportunity so that they can check with organizations that you've worked with. And that's the reason why I always tell people that when you win a grant opportunity, you need to handle it with highest level of integrity, because truth is that donors would also want to talk to the people that have worked with you before. So, and that's the reason why many of them will tell you to provide reference. This person is asking, is this for the US? No, but the donor is a US based donor, or the funder is a US based funder. And sometimes when the funder is an international funder, they give you the money in foreign currency. If it is a local funder, then they are giving you the money in naira, maybe 5 million naira or 1 million naira or 500,000. Or if you could attract funding from an international funder. For example, Tony Elumelu gives $5,000. So usually they would expect that your details are in dollars. So you can use maybe the prevailing exchange rate to do conversions when you are doing your presentation. That's also very important. Thanks for this question. So it means that for this kind of donor, if you are doing your pitch deck for this kind of donor, if for example you're applying to a funding opportunity that the donor is a US based or is an international based donor, and maybe in and their currency is USD or in euros or in pounds, it is important that you convert all your financial analysis to that currency so that when they are reviewing your data, they can easily understand it. You understand? You are speaking their language. In that way, they know that yes, you know what you're doing. Not that you bring data in naira for them and then you will not expect them to be punching calculator by themselves and asking themselves, these details you provided, is it this, is it that, is it that? So just help them, make it easier for them. Because the honest truth is that the easier you make your application and the review process for those reviewing your application, the higher mark you would score in the application. Okay, so I think that is 1 hour plus. So I think we can call it a night here. Any last minute questions, comments, so that I can quickly respond to it before we take a bow? I'm going to share the questions, especially that first one with you, so you could try your hands on it, think through it, brief description, and then just write. In fact, you could even have a sheet of paper that you can easily tear off, and you just keep writing, because it has to do with practice. Grant application has to do with practice, except you want to pay a consultant like me to write your grant application for you. But even if you want to pay me to write your grant application for you, I will have to still sit down with you to understand your business and what you do, review your data and all that, so that I'm able to put it in the right language. You understand? But if you're going to write your application by yourself, I advise you to start practicing now. And that's the reason why I'm going to be sharing that question. So just take your time, go through the question, brief description on this. Okay. Treat it as if you are writing a grant application, as if you are applying for that particular opportunity, and just write. Write, leave it. Next day, come back, read it to yourself again and ask yourself, is this compelling enough for a donor? Do you understand? Rewrite it again. Before you rewrite it 5 times, you would have come up with a very clear, concise, and attractive brief description about your business, so that by the time the real opportunity that you want to apply for comes, it's easy for you to just write it out. And those details would also help feed into your pitch deck, because you are able to now have detailed information, concise, clear information on your business. And that's the reason why every one of you looking for grant opportunities, you must have a pitch deck. So if you do not have a pitch deck, I'm challenging you today. Many of you have already downloaded the templates that I shared. So please start developing your pitch deck. And then tell yourself that every week I will go over my pitch deck again and ask myself, does this pitch deck really represent my business future? Not your business present, or your business future, where you want to get your business to, and is it compelling enough and attractive enough to get a funder to want to invest their hard-earned money into my business? So that's really, really very, very important. Brother is saying social media and referral is the main means of getting customers. Yeah, that's for your business, but that doesn't mean that you would not anticipate some level of growth. Do you understand? If you have identified that referral is one major way that you get customers for your business, then why don't you have a referral package? Do you understand? You could have a referral package as long as you are ready. So depending on the vision that you have, let's say you have a vision that, okay, I currently have maybe 10 students. I want to grow my students base to 20 students by the end of the year. Then you ask yourself, how do I achieve this? You already know the platforms and the channels where you get your customers. So you develop a marketing plan. If you want to be creating content every day to attract your social media audience, you do that. If you want to create a referral package to get people to refer you, you do that. If you want to talk to your current students to give you testimonials so that you can post it and then it can, compel other people who are interested to jump into your program, you do that. But if you do not have a plan, that's why there is a saying that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. If you do not have a plan, you just be there sitting down and waiting for manna to fall from heaven and customers to just come from somewhere. Do you understand? You have to be intentional. You have to be intentional. Can I use my story to explain my business problem? Of course, you can use your story, but you need to package your story well. And I think I've heard your story before. One of the days we were having the review, the story was just so long and so like anybody can be bored. You just need to okay. Here is a question to you. Can you retell that story in one sentence? Do you understand? Can you retell that story, that same story that you shared during the reviews when we're talking about your story, the problem you're trying to solve, and all that? Can you retell that story in one sentence or two sentences? That's a test for you, because the truth is your pitch deck cannot accommodate that long story. And any application you are going to do that you want to write that long story, you are going to bore. I can guarantee you that you're going to bore whosoever is reviewing that. So you need to repackage that story, not cook a new story. I'm not telling you to cook a story, but you need to repackage the story in a way that you tell it in a compelling manner, in a shorter form, so that you are able to demonstrate clearly your business problem. Do you understand? I hope that helps you. So any other question? If there's no other question, I think this is a good place for us to call it a night. Thank you all so much for showing up. Please, 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 I'm pleading with you. Work on your pitch deck. Start practicing your business pitch. Do your short minutes video. Even if you are not sending it to anybody, just carry your phone, put it there, and record yourself talking about your business. When you are done, stop the video, play it and listen to yourself how you talk about your business, and assess yourself. Was I confident enough? Was the story compelling enough? Did I capture enough details to convince any donor to be able to fund my business? Do you understand? You need to really, really practice, and the more you practice, the more confident you become. And when you are actually putting out your grant application, you find out that it's going to be very, very easy for you. And I trust God to really help every one of us. I am looking forward to winners from this cohort. Please, I am looking forward to winners from this cohort. Please, please, and please, just tell me how I can help you, and I'll be happy to help you. Okay? So thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your night. Bye.